Hey guys, here I go again. It's live Tuesday instead of live Monday, but we were away. We got back last night. Our flight got delayed and we didn't get back in until 11 o'clock last night. So, but we had to go and make the live. We told you we would be here and we're here. And there's so many things to talk about. We had a great trip. We were there for 5 days. So many things we did. It's incredible. We stayed by a friend of mine's house, Rocky, and he has horses and stuff like that. His house is in horse country. Amina was horseback riding and stuff like that, and it was really fun. I really wanted to go for a little bit, but I got a bad back. One little twist and I'm in pain for days, so I didn't go, but I went over by the horses and stuff. Great trip. We saw a lot of people in Hollywood, a lot of the meetings that we were doing. We were there again on a Sunday, and I went to church again, and it was so meaningful, so good. People were happy to see me there. I bumped into people who knew me a while ago, and I guess they're Christians, born-again Christians, and they came over and, oh, Sammy, you're at church. That's so beautiful. This, that, and the other thing was good. Really a lot of good stuff. So.
Weather was beautiful, Sammy.
The weather was gorgeous.
You were in that pool every day.
Absolutely. I was in the pool myself. There's some pictures of it.
Did the horse ever go in the pool?
No.
That was wild.
I think he actually tried to get the horse in the pool. When they went out horseback riding, they took the dog there. What was the dog's name? Ozzy.
And Charlie, the older one.
And Charlie. But Ozzy was out on the trail and he conked out. He overheated.
Oh,
yeah, he did.
And they carried him back into the backyard. We threw him in the pool and he came out of it right away.
Yeah.
You know?
So
it was great. So many fun things that we saw and we did. We met with everybody, the Hollywood people. I actually met the pastor this week. I don't want to get into it, but he knew this is the second or third week I went to his church, and he came down, wanted to talk to me and meet with me, talk with me, and he's a great guy. This guy, really a fun guy, you know, not just straight up talking religious stuff, but a great guy. He really is. He impresses me quite a bit, and he would love for me to join his church. And I told him I'll think about it. You know, I told him I'm impressed with, you know, how you give mass. I'm not used to that. You make jokes, you say things, you know, everything is lighthearted, and the people are great. And the thing is that, you know, the people I see down there, I must have about, between the guys and their girlfriends, at least 10 people, and they go every Sunday. So I go with them when I'm there, if I can make it. And I made it, you know, this is, I think, the third time I went with them. And it was great. Great time, great friends. Really good. You know, California's a beautiful place. I get up in the morning over there, I have a cup of coffee. I'm actually putting on a jacket. Mm-hmm. And it's different than, you know, the heat that I just left in Arizona. And then same thing at night. 5, 6 o'clock, we're gonna, you know, we ate already, we're coming back, we're hanging out, we're talking in the backyard, and I got a jacket on again. So the weather is gorgeous, no question about it. Traffic is horrible. Mm-hmm. We went for a brunch, and it was in Laguna Beach, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Laguna Beach. The bill came back. If you sit inside, it's X amount of dollars. If you sit outside, they charge you more. So I said, no, we want to sit outside. You know, I don't have hair on my head, but certain hairs popped up, I guess, new ones. When we got the bill, I think it was $360-something, and I had to give like a $60, $70 tip. $420 to eat brunch.
Eggs.
Yeah, I mean, it was, I had eggs Benedict. I haven't had that in years. I had eggs Benedict.
Yum.
And a good brunch, fancy. It was nice. You know, they bring stuff out, vegetables and fruit and stuff like that. But the bill was like, wow. You know, it's phenomenal. You got to have some money to live in California.
Did you get laid at the Luau, Sammy?
Did I get laid at the Luau?
But they put flowers on you?
We went to a good friend. The guy who owns the yacht is a friend of mine now. And it was his, 70th birthday?
Yes.
It's his 70th birthday, and I was invited, so we went. Amina came. Anna didn't come.
Did they put the flowers on her?
I think she,
No.
Anna didn't come. I think she scored with somebody, and she disappeared. So
They did a little stealth exit to the lot.
no. So anyway, we went to it was a luau and stuff like that. It was great. I must have been 50, 60 people easily, maybe more, in his house. It's way up on a mountain, a view that was completely breathtaking. And a pack of people that were really good, fun-loving people. They did all kinds of, stuff. And
he had a tiki bar and the little
he had a tiki bar
fire
and the pool,
fires
coming out of things. It was really, really great. And another friend of mine, Art, who owns a limousine service, and he has a friend, they did some of the catering, the food that came in, ribs, shrimp. I love shrimp, wrapped with bacon. And I've never had that, but I had that. It was delicious. It was the first time I had shrimp wrapped with bacon. And it was delicious. The whole place was delicious. The women were delicious. But we had a great time. We really, really did. And aside from having a lot of fun, I made a lot of connections for things we're doing in Hollywood. Everything is moving forward in a good way. So a lot of it now they're tightening up with me. Don't say this, and they're getting tight on me. So there's certain things I can talk about. Certain things they're not letting me talk about.
I think it was really fascinating. If we could talk about the actor that was at dinner with you.
Yeah, let's talk
Okay.
about him.
So there was his showrunner, Terry, had brought his friend Vincent Piazza, who was in the Jersey Boys. He played Lucky Luciano in Terry's show Boardwalk Empire and all these things. And I just sat there in awe because even though Vincent being a spectacular talent, his humility was just off the charts. He was asking Sammy about his life and the realness and the authenticity to get that genuine experience.
Right. And what I told him, I said, listen, you want to play me in the movie? And he said, no, that's not why I would love to. He said, but I don't think
Terry's like, whoa there.
Yes,
whoa
I
there.
said, we have a couple of things in common. So he said, what? I said, we're both from New York and we're both good looking. Now he's really a good-looking guy, and he's young, so.
he's super sweet, very
Yeah,
personable.
we had a lot of laughs, talking and joking, and the meeting was great. That was Terry Winter, and he was at the dinner with us and with this actor, and so the whole thing really went good, and we continue our talking. We keep going forward, Talking about going forward. I wanted to say our Christmas in July was spectacular. We're almost sold out. I think there's 48 hours left and then it's over. I think I took a good loss. Everybody's getting all these discounts.
I think
I lost a lot of money. I didn't make money on this. Believe me, I didn't make money on this. But I'm happy that a lot of people jumped on it and got what they wanted, Christmas cards, artwork, baseballs, all that stuff. And a lot of it is gone now, just about all of it.
Yeah, get your orders in. It's the less than 48 hours.
Right, there's 48 hours left. Get it in now, forever hold your peace. Or wait until Christmas. We'll probably run another sale. Talking about sales and things like that, I was talking about it, I was thinking about it. We had that little party that we made 600,000. We got more than 600, 602 or 3 or something like that now. And a lot of messages came in. A lot of you guys, I want to thank you, saying let's get him to 1 million subscribers and this and that and the other thing. And I really, really appreciate you trying to help me that way. And it's really a good thing. And I want to add something to it. The girls don't know about it. You're going to hear oohs and ahs if I say this. I mean, when we get to 1 million followers, and that's like 300 and something thousand away. So if we get to 1 million subscribers, the person who's the millionth person, I don't know how we can track that, but I'm sure that number will pop up. And whoever it is, a man or a woman, I'm going to send you $1,000. So that's another little thing I thought of, and I think that's the way I would celebrate that. So
All right.
we'll see what
that's
happens.
Very generous of you, Sammy.
Yeah. And now there's people probably going to tell me, well, what about if I at 690 or could I get a prize?
The chat's going crazy over your shirt, soft white underbelly, Sammy.
Yeah, I did another video, 2 videos actually, the Johnny Keys video and thing when I got shot with Joe Vitale when I was young. So I did 2 videos while I was down there with soft white underbelly, and guy's a great guy. You know, we had a good conversation. I did 1 video with him now. It's at 670
Easily.
something thousand, 75, 76, whatever it is, thousand. And he, you know, wants to do a few other videos. I did 2 more with him, and he wants to do a few more with me, stuff like that. Great guy. You know, he was telling me, why don't you smoke? I said, I don't want to be disrespectful. I'm in your place, you know. I don't want to just light up a cigar.
Yeah.
And he said, no. He says, I did a video with a guy. I think he was from the mob in Chicago or something like that. The guy, he said, was a little stiff, and I was running it, and I asked him, you smoke? He says, I smoke cigars. So he says, light up. You can light up. He said, Sammy, when he lit up the cigar, the interview got so much better because he's comfortable while he's smoking, talking. And I'm comfortable talking and smoking and stuff like that. So it was good that he's very understanding like that. And he told me, if you want to smoke, smoke. I didn't smoke in the videos. I didn't want to smoke inside his studio. But I went outside and smoked. And he's a great guy. Then he said, could you take a couple of pictures with the shirt and a hoodie? So I said, sure, I'll do it for you. Well, how much you want? No, I don't want nothing. And so he took the pictures of me, and then he told me, keep the t-shirt, which I have on, and keep the hoodie. So I said, well, what about a hat?
Like, wait.
Yeah, now I'm getting things I want a little bit more. But now, another thing I want to report, that Lily, I put her with somebody, a woman who takes care of dogs.
Oh, Lord.
And she don't just take care, the dog lives with her. So she feeds him, she walks her, she does all these things. Now, Lily was a little naughty, probably a little depressed, saying, oh my God, he's giving me away, my bed, the food, everything. He gave me up, he's never coming back. So she pooped once or twice in the woman's kitchen. She peed in the front near the door, and she was a little grumpy and mischievous. She got into things, and she was a little naughty. Now we have her back. When I went to the door, right? When I went to the door, she just went completely nuts.
She went nuts. She wouldn't stay back.
I couldn't even push her back. She was jumping on me, biting, tail going. So she was super happy. And now she's laying down in her spot. She knows here's a Monday Live. It's Tuesday, but it's a Monday Live, and I got my spot, and I'm laying there. And so she's real happy. I'm happy. Yeah. I miss this dog so much. And tonight, when I go to bed, you know, because I picked her up. Last night, like I told you, we got in at 11 o'clock. So I got up this morning, and I went and picked her up first thing in the morning. And she's back with me. But the woman took good care of her, and
yeah,
it's great. It's better than leaving them in the kennel and stuff like that.
Oh, no. Yeah.
It was much more, it was much better for her.
Mm-hmm.
And the woman is what, Korean or something like that?
I don't know.
She's Asian. I don't know what she is, Korean or something. I know that Lily's giving me sign language in Korean, so I figure she's Korean.
She died.
She wants chop suey now.
No,
Well, she ate the panda. Remember? She
Oh.
said she had panda on the counter, and she left for a short period of time, came back, and Lily had gotten on the counter and took all the panda.
Oh, the panda
The
is
Chinese
the
food.
Chinese
Yeah.
food you send for?
Yeah,
When
yeah.
she said she ate the panda, I didn't know what she was talking
That's
about.
what she was talking
I
about.
thought she had one of those pandas, those
No.
little animals, and she ate the other animal. I was
Yeah.
going to say, she's a dog fighter. I told you that. Don't give her a panda. So the panda, she ate the woman's food. So, and she didn't get sick. So maybe I'll have to buy her a little panda order. So
Yeah.
that's...
Warden's in the house.
Who?
The warden.
I love you, bro.
He's got a new interview coming out on the History Channel. Warden, please drop in the chat when that's coming out and what channel and all that lovely stuff.
Yeah, we heard about that, and you didn't get me as an advisor, so I could get paid
Consulting fee.
a consulting fee or something. But good luck with it. Let us know what it is, and we'll advertise it for you and stuff like that. He's a great guy, and I'm going to watch it. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
So
Sterling's in the house on TikTok Live.
Yay, Sterling.
Sammy, the people can see your behind-the-scenes footage that they would never see. These dinners in Hollywood with your Hollywood people, the horses, the parties on your vlog on ourthing.tv and your Patreon.
well, you heard it from Anna on ourthing.tv. We're going to put all those special things on there. I know it's really not expensive. It's $4.99 a month, and you see all these special things when we go to Hollywood. I went to a winery out there, and I made a good connection. I may go into the wine business, and we spent a day there. We went through the whole winery. You'll see all those pictures on ourthing.tv. And I went to a distillery out there. I was introduced. I met them too, and they sell everything: whiskey, vodka, all kinds of things. It's not a big distillery. I don't know how much they can produce, but I told them, listen, I'm not a big shot. I'd like to have it. It's custom made. It's great stuff. They gave me a bottle of everything they're making. We have that picture on ourthing.tv, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we have that picture on there too. You can see that stuff. One of them they make is moonshine. That's like an old whiskey. So they make whiskey, they make vodka, they make gin, and so we took pictures of their place, stuff like that, and I might do that. I might go into alcohol. So now that my brand is building and there's a lot of people and requests, and I'm looking for stuff in my, for my brand, I want to get quality stuff. I want to get good stuff. I don't want to put out garbage. So I have the bottles that I smuggle back, and I'm sending it to my good friend. He's going to partner up with me doing these things, some of these things, and I'm really interested in that. I didn't do it yet, but there's conversation about it. The winery has been around 100 years, and the crazy thing is they're Italians, and they came in and they made it. I don't want to mention their name or nothing like that, but the father opened up this winery almost 100 years ago, and it's a great winery, great wine, and he had Gangstas visit him. They knew him. They went there. They took me at a special room. They used to hang out, smoke cigars, drink wine. And the old man died, and his son runs it. I think I could say the son's name, right? Dominic?
Mm-hmm.
Dominic, young guy, not that young, but way younger than me. Great guy, took us around, showed us everything. He said, Sammy, it's such a pleasure to talk with you or deal with you. I feel like I'm talking to my father again. He passed away. His mother, believe it or not, was still alive. I walked by, I saw her old woman sitting in there, and I tried to tease her a little bit. I mean, she's up in age. She may want an old man, like,
Oh
you know.
my god.
But nah, but she was really nice too. The whole family it was nice going there. It's not just a business. It was like almost, I felt family
Yeah.
oriented type of a thing, talking with them, walking around with them, and they treated me like family.
Oh.
Really great. They took out stuff and put it out for me and this and that and the other thing. And when I said, what I owe you, he says, are you kidding? You don't owe me nothing. So it was really, it was like going to visit family. And especially that I knew his father had a little knowledge about the mob. He said that heard his father mention my name a bunch of times. So he told me who the father was. I don't recall if I knew him, if I didn't know him. He would have been older than me. So I really don't know. But I had a great time doing all of those things and, a bunch of things. And it wasn't a wasted trip. It was really, business-wise, it was good. Money-wise, it was fairly good. But just relaxing and chilling, and my team, I took Anna, I took Amina. Next time I go, I'm going to take Anna, Amina, and she thinks she's getting away, but I'm going to bring her to
Sterling.
Sterling.
Yeah.
Sterling's getting captured too. I'm going to bring her
Bring your
too.
camera,
I'm
Sterling.
getting captured. I mean, I can fit in a suitcase. It's pretty small.
She said she could fit in a suitcase. So,
Stowaway.
so that'll be great. And I would actually love to take Lily there, but she's a dog fighter. She wouldn't get along with a lot of things.
Yeah.
But she'll be taken care of.
Absolutely.
Look at her. She's laying there like she's
Like
so
an
content
angel.
right now.
I don't believe what they said about her.
She was
an
naughty.
Angel.
She was naughty over there.
She was definitely
She's a
naughty.
bad girl.
She's a gangster.
She's a gangster.
Ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Let's talk about some of the questions and stuff I missed. Go ahead.
Well, before we get into that, can we just kind of give condolences for what happened over the weekend in the UK? Three girls, actually, a 6,
Yeah,
7, and
well,
9-year-old girl.
It was a concert. Who was singing there again?
It wasn't a concert. It was a Taylor Swift themed event.
All right, Taylor Swift was putting on an event. Wasn't a concert. It was whatever you want to call it. And some guy actually killed. He stabbed about 8 or 9 people.
Yeah.
And I think 2 or 3 died. Some of them are in the hospital. It's a shame that what's going on in this world. And, so our condolences to the people who have died, and actually to the people who are in the hospital. They went there to have a good time. If you're a sicko out there and you're listening to me, leave them a fucking alone. They're having a good time. What's wrong with you? What does it take for you to, what's bothering you kind of people? So I think they got the guy questioning him, and they got him. So I don't understand it. I really don't. But our condolences, me, my team, we talked about it. We pray for you and your families and whatever.
Okay, let's jump into some questions from last week. First, let's give a shout out to Marshall G. Last week, he was just basically wanting everybody to remember, don't forget to get your Trump Gravano t-shirts, people. We've got a couple more days. Everything's on sale, so take advantage of the July sale. Xavier, I had seen a documentary that said Paul Castellano always had John Gotti's tapes and was just asking for them to kind of throw John and Angelo off because he was planning their hit. Sammy, do you believe that?
No, I know for a fact that's not true. That's whether I believe it or not. I know for a fact he was asking for the tapes because he couldn't get the tapes. And why he was asking for the tapes is that he had a case, and the case erupted on Angelo, Ruggiero, and John's tapes. That's what caused a judge to bug his house and everybody else, all the bosses, underbosses, concierge, everybody got in trouble. So when he was asking for the tapes, he was trying to fight his case to see what they got, what was the excuse to bug his house. And John and Angelo could not show him the tapes because there was nothing but drug conversations on there, talking about the commission, talking about the bosses, underbosses, concierge of every family. It was a nightmare. So he could never show them tapes. And that's what started this whole thing. And it started the cases. Paul understood that, and he won. So he never had, he was planning to kill them anyway. Especially once you refuse a boss. Paul wasn't stupid. Nobody, I don't think anybody said he was ever stupid. So when he knew you weren't giving him the tapes, and he knew the judges looked at those tapes, and those gave the ability to the government to bug his house and everything, he knew the tapes had to be bad. So when you refuse a boss, and he knows all of that, he more than likely is going to kill you. And Paul was going to kill them when he got the tapes or after, whenever he was ready. He just wasn't ready. He had his problems, he had his own case, or he would have killed them. And that's what caused the whole problem, was those tapes.
Okay, Elgato says, Sammy, please describe Mr. Persico.
Mr. Persico was a very, very dangerous dude. He was very, very selfish. I'm going to give you an example this may describe him. There was a guy, Frankie something or other, was a made guy in his family. They were both in prison at the same time. Carmine Persico was in the hall reading a paper. It had an ad about supplies for a farm. He owned a farm upstate New York, and he was reading it. You could buy it cheap and this and that. And somebody came to him and said, bro, did you hear Frankie had a heart attack? He died last night. And he didn't say anything. He looked down at the newspaper and started talking about the newspaper and what he could buy for his farm and stuff like that. And I know guys walked away and said, my God, he didn't even give a fuck. He didn't even say nothing. He just didn't even care. He cared about his farm more than he cared about one of his guys dying. That tells you a little bit about the guy. He called him Carmine the Snake Persico. The snake because he was evil behind your back. So those are things that you can, think about and talk about. He was an evil person. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Mm-hmm. Gas Can Lip says, Sammy, how much cement is used when making cement shoes? 2 bags, 5 bags, or a U-Cart mini cement mixer? Also, if you had to fight Teddy Atlas, who would win?
What they're doing with it's more of an expression, cement shoes. They're going to throw you in the ocean to get rid of you. But your body will blow up with gases and you'll float up. So they need something very heavy to hold you down. So it's either weights, cement. They put in a guy in a barrel, and they'll put some cement in the barrel to weigh the barrel down. Wait for it to dry. The thing weighs fucking a lot of, 2-3 guys pick it up, throw it overboard. That thing, no matter how much you blow up, it's not going to come up. Plus they cut you open, so it's hard to develop stuff in it, gases and stuff like that. So it's more of an expression. There's no, I don't know, 1 bag, 3 bags, 5 bags. I don't know what it takes. But a lot of times I don't think they use cement. I think they use weights, pieces of steel and stuff, and throw it into the barrel. Just stuff to keep it down. And what was the other question? Who would win a fight between me Teddy Atlas.
Yeah.
Listen, I did a video. I got along with Teddy Atlas years and years ago, way before I got pinched. Then I didn't. Then he made some statements and I said something and he said something back. He was a great trainer. I worked out in a gym where he worked out and whatever. And back then, I don't think he was a match for me. He knew how to fight. He knew how to train. But I don't think he would be able to take my punches or my power. But he knew how to bomb and weave. He knew how to throw punches. He knew how to fight. So I really don't know who would have won. But I think I was stronger, tougher, meaner than he was. So I think I would have probably won. You know, it's not like I don't get into a fight. I get into a fight to win, if I'm going to fight. But that doesn't mean I'm going to win. So I really don't know. We never had a fight. I think we made up a little bit that we don't talk about each other and we don't talk negative about each other. So I'm not talking negative about him, but I really don't know. I think I would win. But I don't want to get into arguments with the guy and he's liable to want to come down and fight me. I would have fought him years ago. Now I'm 79. I really don't want to fight him. But I think he's up in age now, too. I don't know how old he is. But maybe he would be a little surprised at my power and that I could still fight.
Okay, JB Weld asked, if you have a soldier who is a great guy but really isn't too bright, and you can't use him for numbers, do you pay him if you're his captain? How do you get him to earn?
A captain doesn't pay you. The money goes up all the time. It never comes backwards down. You don't get paid to be in the Mafia. You give up. Your piece goes up. So that's number one. And if he can't earn, that's his problem. It's not the captain's problem. It's not the family's problem. People have to be able to use their knowledge to go earn. If you're not an earner, there's a lot of guys who are not and never really earned much. But that's their problem. The Mafia gives you a lot of power behind you. They will help you in business because they have connections with unions, if you're in the construction business, in all kinds of different ways. You don't even have to be that. You could be a baker. And you open up a bakery. I'm going to send a lot of people to your bakery to buy food. My daughter opened up a florist. She didn't know how to do flowers. I got a good florist, hooked her up with my daughter. They opened up a florist. I sent all kinds of people. They knew she was my daughter, and they went there. The business flourished. So that's what I would do. But at the money they don't pay you for a salary. You can't earn. That's on you. You can't earn, and you're a complete deadbeat. Go get a fucking job. Drive a truck. Do whatever you want to do. Be a garbage man. John Gotti's brother, Peter Gotti, was a garbage man. There's a lot of guys who worked. Go to work, and it was his brother, so he made different provisions because I guess he thought it's embarrassing that he's in the life and he's a garbage man. I don't know why it's embarrassing, but if that's what you got to do what you got to do to earn and make a living. They're not going to come out. They'll help you in different ways if they could. I've done it, and with no regrets. Fat ass Huck with me. It was a terrible earner, but I helped him in different ways where he can make money. I would give him money on 1%. Every week he's got to pay me. And he gave it out for 3 and 4%. So he could earn. He's giving me my 1% and he's keeping the other 3. So he's earning. But I'm not going to stick money in his pocket all the time. If he was broke, there's some guys around me that I gave them actual money. Put this in your pocket. Cut him in when I made a score. But there's no such thing. It's not a job. I'm not going to pay him. I've got the position. you pay me. And I'm not the big shot, because even as a captain, I got to pay up. Everybody pays up. So they don't pay backwards. A boss don't come down and say, here, Sammy, here's 50,000. He don't do that.
Okay, Gas Can Lip. He says, if you and the gals come to North Beach, San Francisco, can Gas Can Lip be the bodyguard?
Without a doubt, my man.
He says
If
he has
I-
a black belt.
Listen, I've heard from you. We're friends for a while. You could definitely be my bodyguard. But I need, if I come to San Francisco, I need you to be my friend and hang out and we have a drink, a cup of coffee or whatever, will be more important than being my bodyguard. Amina and Anna together, they could fucking fight.
Fuck around up in here.
All right. Cosmic asks, Sammy, is there anything you can tell me about the Connecticut Captain? And then he also wants to know, what is the best vacation trip you've ever taken?
The best vacation trip. I mean, I've taken a lot of good ones. I went to Puerto Rico one year with a couple of friends, Johnny Gamarano and his wife, and I believe Huck and his wife. I took a few people with me, and we all went to Puerto Rico. I met some guys there that were heavyweights. They knew I was coming. I sat with them. They had connections all over the place. We were treated really, really good. We went to a casino over there, down there. I believe it was there. I had a great vacation in Puerto Rico. We stayed at a good hotel. We even traveled down to the areas you're not supposed to go. There was shacks. Those are tough areas. They tell you stay away from that. But the people who I met who were down there were heavyweights with the Puerto Ricans. I was able to go right into their neighborhoods without a problem. I remember that. It was a great vacation I took. I had fun with the people, but I had a lot of them. I went to Florida. I went to different places. I went to Hawaii with my wife. I had a lot of good vacations.
Is there anything that you can say about the Connecticut Captain?
I said already that Paul told Chin he's allowed to kill him.
Okay.
And I told the story once, so there's really not much. I didn't know him. There's not much because I didn't know him personally. I knew that there was an argument between him and Chin Gigante, the Genovese family, but he wasn't in the wrong. He was protecting his area. That's what he's supposed to do. He was protecting his guys and his crew. It went against Chin, didn't like what was going on. Paul, as the boss, is supposed to protect him and solve the problem, not to tell Chin, all right, then just kill him. Why? Because you got a relationship and you're sharing a lot of money with him? That's not the thing to do as a boss. But I don't know too much about him personally. I've never heard anything bad about him in all these conversations. Everybody seemed to like him there. But he was dead and gone, and I really didn't have too much anything. To be honest, I don't think I ever even met him.
Okay. Ryan Brown wants to know, did you know Vito Borelli, who Paul had clipped because he said he looked like Frank Perdue?
Now, I was at a meeting with Paul and Frank Perdue. There's no question Paul didn't like Perdue. And I did see Perdue. His fucking face looked like a chicken face. So I don't know if he killed this guy because he looked like a chicken or Paul was in the chicken business. But I doubt very seriously that he would kill somebody because he didn't like the way he looked, or he looked like a chicken, they looked like Perdue. No, I doubt very much that's true. I really do. I doubt it.
Mark Clark. How did John...
Mark Clark?
Mark Clark.
Is he any relationship to, who's the other Clark, Superman? What was his name?
Clark Kent.
Clark Kent. Is he a relationship with Clark? All right, yeah, give me the question.
Mark Clark says, how did John get in debt gambling? And how does that work exactly? Does he borrow cash and just can't pay the debt?
Listen, when you're a degenerate gambler, you're gambling money you don't even have. And that's how you lose and you go into debt. And he'd have to go borrow it. You have to pay. I don't give a shit who you are. In other words, you can, if as a boss, you're going to bet with an office and you don't pay, they'll never take your bet again. So a degenerate gambler, that's the worst thing you could do, block him from gambling. And it's a bad reputation to get. So John would borrow money to pay. So he paid. It's not that he didn't pay. And then you get jammed up on money that you borrowed. John was a brokester most of his life. He's a degenerate gambler. He's always in trouble with money and stuff. Until we took over. Then you got so much money coming in. You know, somebody asked me a question the other day. What do you think John was making? For low, I'll say maybe $5 million a year. For low. Cash. Government don't know about it, so it's green, cash. Now, I did it my own self. Of course, in my conversation, I did 5 million divided by 52 weeks. And it came out to 96,000 and change. So imagine making 96,000 change a week in cash. They're not taking taxes or anything like that. How the fuck do you go broke? Yet some of them do. John went broke. That means he's gambling more than that. So you're gambling 150,000, and you lost it. And you only made 96, so you're in debt. You got to go borrow. But he can get out because he has that constant flow of money. And it's not that he was a business guy. He didn't understand unions. He didn't understand business. He made himself a plumbing salesman. And he put himself down. The first time I asked him, he had said, Sammy, I'm down there. I'm on there for $30,000 a year. $30,000 a year. I said, John, you're going to jail. You go in a store and you're buying $30,000 worth of clothes, more or less. The FBI is going to go in that store when you leave, and they're going to say, what did he buy? They're going to know. How do you make $30,000 a year and you just spent 25? And how do you pay your bills? You're going to go to jail for tax evasion. When we finally got indicted, he boosted it from 30 to 60. That was still not enough. And when we all got pinched, murders and all this stuff, one of his indictment charges was tax evasion. Just like I had told him. I couldn't stop the rest. He caught himself on tape and talking about murders and everything else. So you're dead. And I was right with the tax evasion. My last year on the street, if I remember right, my wife would know better than me, I did a joint tax return. I paid that I made $750,000 in taxes. Not that I gave them, it's how much I made, then I owed X amount of dollars. When I got that same indictment as John, there was no tax evasion charge. There was murders, but there was no tax evasion. And I did get a tax evasion charge earlier in life with the Plaza Suite, but that was just because I got caught taking all that money and just not paying taxes and whatever. So,
Let me just get last two questions. Randy Ingram from Florida says, why was the Castellano hit done out in public? Why not at the White House, like his house?
well, my friend, we're professional killers, we're Mafia. I would never, I went to a guy's house once to kill him. Why would we go to his house and kill him? What are we going to do with the maid? Kill her? What are we going to do with his wife? Kill her? What are we going to do with his daughter? Kill her too? No. that idea came up. I think it was Joe Watts who brought it up. We could all go there. And I was the first one, not the only one, but the first one to say, I'm out. I'm not doing that. Frankie the Chico one was the second one. And that was off the table. We're not going to go there. What are you going to do? His wife is there. She's going to see you come in. His daughter, the maid. You kill him. What are you going to do? Leave them around? You have to kill them. So that's not Cosa Nostra. That's not something that we do. I made that mistake one time. I went to a guy's house, Ralph Spiro. That's how I got out of the Colombo family. They took that as a serious offense. Thank God I didn't do it. I went there to do it. I didn't do it. And they had to transfer me. They couldn't keep us together. They weren't going to kill Ralph. They blamed him. He was wrong. I was right. But yet I went to his house. And they transferred me to the Gambino family. That's how I got out of the Colombo family. I didn't do it on purpose, but the meetings of the minds that the bosses talked, they said, well, we're not going to kill Ralph because he's Shorty's brother. But he's fucking wrong. Sammy was right. But he went to the fucking house that made him wrong. And we have to break them up. That's how I got transferred. And I'm lucky I didn't get killed for doing what I did. Thank God I didn't do it. And thank God he wasn't home, because I was so hot and so stupid and young, I would have shot him, and I really don't know what I would have done with his wife.
Okay,
I didn't even have an answer in my head then.
Last question from Randy. What would have happened had Big Paul been allowed to hear those phone conversations?
Nothing. It would have probably helped him with his case, and it would have convinced him more about killing John and his whole crew. And he might have brought those tapes to the commission and told the commission, here's the tapes. Everything we said not to do, he did. He broke every rule in the book. I'm going to take him and his whole fucking crew out. And I'm asking for all the other bosses to join me. He would have probably did that in a commission meeting. Now, in that commission meeting, if there was a vote and they all agreed, every family would have been involved in that hit to wipe John and his crew off the map. That's what I think he would have did.
Okay. Well, that's it for last week's questions. Do you want to hear where your fans are tuning in from? You got them worldwide.
Yeah, let's hear where they're coming from.
They're from Liverpool, France, Ireland, Australia, Tunisia, Scotland, England, Peru. You have people in Peru tuning in. And then, of course, you got the states, AZ, Florida, Pennsylvania, New York. That's what we got so far.
Wow.
Turning it over to Anna.
Italy, Detroit, Louisiana.
Oh, that's on
Illinois,
TikTok.
Russia.
Russia's in
Russia.
Russia.
Sammy, every time I hear her say worldwide, I think of Step Brothers, where it's like world, wide, prestige, stage.
All right, I got that. I think I got it.
It's hilarious. Hi, babe. Come here, Gabriel. Come
How you
sit
doing?
down, babe. Okay, we have a lot of super chats, Sammy. There's already 4 from Raghav. Great questions. Hey, Sammy. When you were in the Mafia and committing these murders and the crimes, did you fear punishment from God for all your sins?
No, I didn't. I didn't. I think that people broke rules. You know, I'm starting to learn now because I'm considering becoming a born-again Christian, and I read and heard and saw a lot of things. Now, years ago, I don't remember the names. There was a war, good people and bad people. God didn't want the bad people to win, and he created a storm. In that storm, most of the people that died were the bad people, which made the good people win. So God could consider certain things talking to the pastor that I just talked with, he had said, what was it, Samson?
Samson, yeah.
Killed more people after his death than during his death. So he was a warrior. And I don't know much about the story, just what I had heard. He was a warrior, killed a lot of people. And after his death, a lot more people died because he was right, they were wrong. So I don't know exactly how God looks at things. Jesus looks at things. I know Jesus took people on the cross, other people who have killed, and took them under his wing. He's forgiving. He's loving. So they know about death and they don't pull away from it that easy. When he was alive, he had, what was her name?
Delilah. Samson and Delilah that cut
No,
his-
not Samson and Delilah. He had a girl around him who was a hooker and she was everything else.
Oh, Mary Magdalene.
Mary Magdalene. And he wasn't taking her there to have sex with her. He was there taking her there for her to repent and to help her.
Yeah.
So he knew she was a hooker. He didn't shun her and push her away. So there's a lot of situations in the Bible and in every religion where there's people who were killed and people who live. And so I don't know. I was a warrior.
Yeah.
When I went into the military, I would have killed people. Growing up, I came from a great family. I didn't even think about killing people. I fought. I'd hit you with a bat or a pipe or this. If it was a gang war, I didn't even think about killing you. But when I went into Cosa Nostra, that's part of the life. We don't go out like the other question before to go to somebody's house and kill them and kill his whole fucking family.
Right.
We don't do things like that. We shouldn't. That would make us real evil. That would make us a Roy DeMeo or a gas pipe. Thank God in the Mafia, there's very few of them. But there is warriors. When you break the fucking rules, there are guys who will kill you. You take an oath as part of that. See, when you go in the military, you take an oath to fight for the country, to kill them, kill people, the enemy. Cops take an oath, but yet when to stop a crime or to stop that kid who just was at that event, if they could shoot him, shoot him. So I don't think that it's something that God has never seen or knows about.
Right.
And my thing was, I don't know. When I die, I'll find out. It will be my relationship with God, whether he loves me or hates me or whatever. I'll find out then. I don't know now, but I know one thing. I really feel that there's a guardian angel on my side. I was shot twice and survived. I was stabbed once and survived. I got cancer 3 times and I'm still here.
Amen.
There was times I was supposed to get hit and for some stupid fucking reason I didn't go to the meeting or I would have died. I didn't go to Vietnam. Maybe I would have died in Vietnam. So I think that's the reason why I'm looking at Christianity and maybe considering becoming a born-again Christian. For all of these things, I believe in God. I believe in him. I believe in Jesus, that he was a man, he was alive. He was a good man in so many different ways. Now, the more I will learn more about it, hopefully. So I don't think that, I put people down if they kill, if they don't kill, or what do you think? What do you think God would say? I have no idea what he would say. Time will come, judgment day for everybody, one way or another, good, bad, or indifferent. It's going to happen. So I'll find out then. If I could ask for a pass and come back, I'll let you know how
he's
it's
gonna
like
haunt us all.
and what's
I mean,
going on. But right now, that's a tough question for me to answer. I've always gravitated towards tough guys. I like tough guys. I want to have a drink with them. I want to have a cigar with them. I like tough guys. And I don't see them as evil. Some people I see as evil, those names, Roy DeMeo, Gas Pipe, some people cross the line and become evil. They're evil.
And you felt that darkness. You felt that the hair going up on the back of your neck. I remember you telling the stories about DeMeo and them. It's
Yeah. They're not tough guys who are capable of killing. They're in a breed by themselves, like a child molester. I like sex with women. I'm not a child molester. I'm not a rapist. But that doesn't mean that I don't enjoy women, or you know what I mean? So these are hard questions to answer. I'm answering it as best as I can.
yeah.
You know, I don't deny that I did kill. Now, I did a video about my friend Joe Peruta. When he was sick, look at that video.
Yeah.
And it'll explain maybe a little bit more about me. If you could even find it. But
You saved a lot of lives too, Sammy. You got a lot of guys' passes.
without a doubt. I was just talking to a woman in California. And she talked to me about, and she's a born-again Christian, about some people call me a rat or this or that, the other thing.
Yeah.
And she said, when I look at it and I read that stuff, I say, what if he didn't cooperate? And he would have been on the street with John Gotti. How many people would have died? How many people did he save? And I didn't do this to save people. But in her mind, how many people did he save? How could you call him a rat? Maybe there's 30, 40 more people walking the streets because of what he did. Nobody will look at it that way. I don't look at it that way either, to be honest.
Yeah.
But, so there's so many different ways of looking at everything. I take a person one step at a time and look at everything. And if I don't like them, I push them on the side. I don't necessarily badmouth them. I just push them on the side. I don't want to bother. Then there's people who want to talk about everybody. This guy from White Underbelly, was saying the same thing. He does a lot of videos with people with problems, homeless, all kinds of different people. There's people who hate him because of what he does. He said, Sammy, there's a woman who opened up a video, takes some of my video, patches it, and talks negative about me, and I can't even do anything about it. He said to me, if Mother Teresa was alive and did a video, they'd be calling her a whore, a liar, this, that, and the other thing. He said, social media has gone wild.
Yeah.
They'll just badmouth people left and right. I watch a lot of this stuff now. I'm listening to black guys, sports guys, football players, basketball players, saying the same thing. The guys who are Gangster Chronicles in California, I know them. I did meetings with them twice.
Norman Still.
Yeah, Norman Steele. They say the same thing. There's people out there, I've got it big time, you guys know that, who will just knock you all the time. Not because they're looking to save you or make you a better person. They're jealous. They're envious. They want to tear you down. So all of these people who are out there who are doing things and have this same problem, and it's not one race or one, there's men and women, it's happening right across the board, not to everybody, but a lot of people. There's probably comments coming out about this Taylor Swift because of this incident.
Yeah.
She didn't know that was going to happen. She didn't want that to happen. And yet there's people knocking her because she's going to make a living or whatever she's doing. She went to her own little concert, whatever you want to call it. Does she know some kid's going to lose his fucking mind and stab 7, 8 people? She don't know that. So there's so many questions about these things. And a lot of the questions when you're talking about the afterlife, who knows? It's What's important is what you do in this life.
Yeah.
I know I've done a lot of bad, and I know I've done a lot of good. So who's going to outweigh what is what? God. Let him take care of that. Not you, not what you think
Yeah.
is right or wrong. Who gives a fuck what you think? You know, you can think I'm horrible. There's people out there who love me. There's people who call me as friends that I knew 40, 50 years ago. How bad can I be if they're friends with me 40, 50 years later and still talking to me and communicating with me? I broke up with my wife. I'm divorced. We're like this. I never raised my hands to her. I help her because she's sick. So I'm a bad man. You don't want to take that into consideration? Or you don't want to take somebody comes to me for help and I help them, so if I could. I can't help everybody. So take into consideration, some people will love me, some people will hate me. If I ever did become a born-again Christian, I'm sure there'll be tons of people who'll knock me.
Yeah.
And some people will love me for it. Neither one are all that important to me. It's what I feel and what I want to be. That's what's important.
That's right.
A woman wants to go out. She goes out. You want to call her a whore. You want to call her this. This one wants to call her that. Fuck all of yous. She's living her life. She'll have her judgment day. If she's comfortable in her skin and what she does, it's none of your fucking business. And most of the time, the people who are doing the calling and pointing, they're the worst.
That's right.
And they're pointing at other people. Sterling is a pretty girl. People bother her. She's pretty. She's got a nice figure. She's pretty. She's cute. Is she the devil? Because she dresses a little sexy or she looks good.
She takes care of herself.
You know, you're going to hear all of that. And if you know Sterling, she is pretty. She's got a nice figure. She's a sweetheart. She's got a great heart. She's a good person. So you're looking at one aspect and saying whatever you want to say and whatever you want to think, but you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about when you do talk. So there's all of that, and these questions are, Sterling just gave me a heart.
She's her work
See,
ethic.
that's the type of person she is. I talk good about her, she gives me a heart. So, you know,
Yeah.
and whatever she wants to do in life, she does. Some of the things she'll make mistakes, maybe. So be it. Who the fuck don't make mistakes? Who lives their life and is perfect? How many times was your mother or your father sick? You should have been by their bed. You weren't. For whatever reason. What are we going to call you bad? You're a bad person. We'll pick that out. We'll tell the whole world what you weren't there. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's a waste of time. And it shows who the weak, scummy people really are. They're finger pointers. And you could bank on those finger pointers have nothing. They're the dirt. And the only thing they can do is try and make that other person dirtier than they are to promote themselves.
Yeah.
So, I'm starting to sound like a preacher now. Hallelujah, brother.
Amen, Brother Sammy. Fire, fire.
Yeah. I'm not a preacher, and, you know, but you know, these conversations or some of these questions drive me up a wall a little bit, and not in a negative way. It's just, it's unfortunate how, you know, people do things. I know a ton of women, and so many of them come out of bad marriages and tough, you know, lives, and develop a way, and you know, I look at all of that, and it's a lot. And I look at a lot of men who walk away from a tough marriage, and it's the woman's fault. It's not always the man's fault. So it is what it is. What we got to focus in on is positivity. Things that are positive about people. If you really care about people, not what they are or do, be positive and make them better. Not being negative and trying to bring them down worse than they are if you think they're bad. So those are decisions you got to make in life yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to be yourself as a person. There's so many different values, so many different things out there. But when you look in the mirror, you got to be yourself. Be you. Be proud of you. And look yourself in the mirror. A lot of times you're going to look and you've done something and you're not going to be proud of yourself. And that's the most important thing that you could look at. Not what somebody else says about you. What you say about you. I did a thing once with the pot, Patty Crooked Neck, and the guy I could have robbed him, I could have killed him and wind up with a ton of money. And he came to me and said, Sammy, you're the best friend a guy can have. You help me to get through this. I said, Patty, I'm not that good of a friend. And he looked at me. I'll never forget his face. And he said, why? I said, I did think about killing you. A bullet in your fucking head,
Mm-hmm.
I would be rich overnight. And nobody would know but me. He said, but you didn't kill me. And you are a friend. Why I didn't kill him? Because every time I would have passed the mirror and looked at myself and said I'm a friend to somebody or something, I would have said, no, I'm not. I'm a scumbag. I'm a real scumbag. For money, for greed, I took this guy's life, who looked at me as a friend. So
Trusted
that's the biggest thing you have, is a mirror. Look at yourself in the fucking mirror. Become a man or a woman and do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy, but buckle down. There's another old saying, I love this saying.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the cops one time, the Jersey cops told me, Sammy, when we get you in jail, we are going to make your fucking life so miserable. I said, good.
Yeah.
I love that. I love it. You love it? Yeah, I love it. Make my life. Here's why I love it. Strong men, the harder it is, they get stronger. Weak men get weaker. I'm not a weak man. Make it hard for me, motherfucker. Mm-hmm. I'm going to get stronger and stronger. I love you for doing that. He ate him up alive.
Wow.
They hated that statement from me. You want to scam me? You're going to make it hard? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Let's get hard. I told some of these fucking punk bitches who are fucking with me all the time,
Right.
don't do that on the phone. Don't do that on a fucking computer or a text message from your Come
Right.
and talk to me. Come face up with me. Tell me to my fucking face. Let's do it. I'm up in age. It should be easy for you. Let's do it. See what happens.
Gets real quiet after that.
Yeah, it
You
gets
hear the
real
crickets.
quiet. It gets real quiet. You call their bluff because they're weasels.
Yeah.
And I'm not just defending myself. There's so many people, like the pastor had said, there's so many people who do that. Try to tear people down. You tear religions down. You go after people's religions.
Yeah.
Somebody will bang into the Muslims. Somebody will bang into the Christians. They're banging into one another for what? To take each other down? To try and be better than the other one?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you take all of you go up? No matter what religion it is. So there's all these arguments in every walk of life. And we have to get used to that and deal with it.
Yeah.
And understand it. And once you understand it and you deal with it, it's not even a problem for you. And that's the way I'm getting now. Whoever wants to talk bad, talk bad. I don't even care. Doesn't even bother me anymore.
Joe Rogan says, I don't even read the comments anymore. It's all
Imagine now
nonsense.
Joe Rogan is a sweetheart of a guy. He's a man's man. He's a good guy, and every fucker. Imagine people sending him fucked up messages. For what? This guy's done so much good and talks great. Sounds like I'm a Joe Rogan fan, and if it sounds like that, I am.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's a good man, and if you're knocking him, I mean, I don't understand it. And it goes with everybody, just like what the guy told me from White Belly. Mother Teresa could be on. They'll be calling her a whore, a slut. They'll call her everything under the sun. And I remember a woman who was very promiscuous. And people were calling her a whore, a slut. She says, you can call me whatever you want, but your husband calls me every day.
Oh, hey yo.
Hey, yo.
Call me whatever you want, just don't call me late for dinner.
Yeah, right.
Sammy, I really want to jump in on this super chat that you brought up, Deb, and the relationship that you have with her. Love Life wants to know, you and Deb have been through everything together. From how you talk about her, you both must be soulmates and meant to be together. Have you thought about remarriage?
No, that doesn't mean I want to remarry. You know, sometimes you're not a fit. You know, when people come to work for me, Anna or Amina or anybody, I tell them I might let you go. Not because I don't like you, because you're not a fit for my business. And you might want to leave because you feel you're not a fit or I'm not a fit for your life. And we leave. That doesn't mean we hate each other or dislike each other. There are some people who left. Peanuts was one of them. Zaza was another one. And I think they were great. But they weren't a fit. It didn't fit. It did for a while, but it wasn't a fit. So, and I still think the world of them. I don't know what they think of me. They're not talking to me, but I think they don't hate me. So, no, I wouldn't marry nobody no more. I did that once. I'm not doing it again. I can love somebody without marrying them. I could make love to somebody and not marry you. And, you know, so there's sometimes you're not a fit, but that doesn't mean that you don't love them or respect them. You're talking about Deb, my ex-wife. She's the mother of my children and a great mother. She's a grandmother to my grandchildren and a great grandmother. Every time I was in prison or everything I went through, my wife's ex-wife's life was not easy. She stood up to it her whole time. And she was under a lot of pressure, debt. She even got indicted with me once. She didn't even blame me. So, will I ever hate her? No. Will I ever do anything? No. I'm even at the point in my life I would do nothing to hurt her. We're divorced. I can go out with another woman if I feel like it. She can go out with another man if she feels like it. If I did go out with another woman, I would hide it. You know why? I just wouldn't want to hurt her to feel, oh my God, he loves her, he don't love me, he don't like me or something. I wouldn't do anything to hurt her. That's respect. That's not because I don't love her or I should love her or I should get married. It's just love and respect and treating each other the right way. We're not together. I will guarantee you, if I'm sick, she would probably be in line, probably the first one in line to come and help me. I know that. I feel that. If she's sick, if somebody just called me right now and said she just went to the hospital, I would get off this fucking thing right in the middle, even if it hurt me, to get the fuck off and go. So, but that doesn't mean I have to be married. We did that. Been there, done that. It don't necessarily work for us as, I'm not going to get into all the details of why she divorced me. I didn't kick her out, she divorced me. And I'm not going to get into all the details of it, but, you know, that's the way I feel. But it's over. Tomorrow's another day, we go forward, but that doesn't mean that I hate her or we had any kind of bad divorce. It was, we're going to break up. Did we get lawyers? No.
Wow.
Did we make an agreement of what's going to be?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did we shake on it? Yeah. Did we hug? Yeah. I had a weird divorce. She had a weird divorce. Not the normal kill each other, fight each other. I talk to women, they can't get child support and all kinds of shit. Not me. I would never do that. She would never do that. She's sick now. Her mother is sick. She's away, taking care of her mother. She loves animals. She wouldn't step on a water bug to kill it. She's a good person.
Yeah.
Are we a fit? We were for a long time. We're not anymore. Simple. Do we hate each other? I know I don't hate her, and I don't think she hates me. After hearing some of these videos that I was cheating on her or something, she might get to hate me. A little at a time, she might hate me. But, you know,
I think it reflects too. You talk to your children every day, your grandchildren, and now your great-grandchildren. It shows, Sammy. It shows, you know, your leadership of the family and how much you guys really love each other and that you raised them right.
right. And let me add to this. You can, you know, be abusive towards your ex-wife, hate, she can hate you. That's a great way to raise kids. Look what they're going to look at.
Yeah.
Nothing but arguing, fighting, hate. How do you think that affects them?
They start to hate themselves
Yeah.
because they're half of you, you
Yeah.
know?
So, you know, all of these things happen, and then the kids, you know, suffer from it. And but they got to be strong enough to understand life, things happen, and they got to get up and be stronger than what happens. Whereas if your father's drunk and he beats your mother, when you want to get older, you don't want to be him. You may still love him, but you don't want to be him.
Yeah.
That's fine. That doesn't mean you hate him.
Right.
Still your dad. Still love him a little bit,
Sure.
but you don't want to be him. And be something else. Be strong. Go through your life. And you could always look back at him. He's my dad. When he dies, you'll go to the funeral. You'll feel bad. He was my dad. You know, when they say blood is family, no, it's not. Blood makes you related. You're related to each other. Blood. Family is people who are loyal, trustworthy, love you, would die for you. That's family. My crew, the old man Peruta, Stymie, I had that. That was family. More than any of my family. And I'm talking about my family, sisters or whoever. They were stronger. They were closer. They never stopped with me. The love, the affection, the being trustworthy. When it came time I was in trouble and ready to die, they stood by me ready to die with me. That's family. Not blood. Blood is that this woman had sex with this guy, it's his seed, it's her eggs, it's all mixed, and he pops out. Or she pops out. And that's, you're related. You're related through the bloodline, through the thing. You're related. That doesn't mean they're going to be family. That doesn't mean they're going to have your best interest. That a brother or a sister or whatever could wind up being your worst enemy. You could have a mother who grows up and she's a drunk, or whatever she is. She could be the worst example of life. Yeah, you're going to love her a little bit. She's your mother. But you got to go on without her and not be her. Or it's your dad who's doing those things, and go on. So it's a complicated issue, and that's why religion in your life is important. That's why I'm looking at born-again Christian. Born-again means that you're starting to understand it. And I'm a little stupid. It took a long time for me to understand it. But I'm starting to understand it more and more and more.
Yeah.
There is a God. There is a Jesus Christ. There is a life. And I'm going to give up my life sooner or later. And I'm going to deal with those issues myself now. It's not that I killed people or I did this, that, and the other thing. He knows all that. I'm not ducking none of that. What am I doing now with my life? I haven't killed anybody since I flipped and walked away. So it's not a new thing for me, being a Christian or a born-again Christian. It's something that's going to be fairly easy for me. I've already done it. I don't kill. There's people I'd like to kill, I'll be honest with you. But I don't. That's my past. And my future is doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
When we were away, Anna's mother got sick. And she said, Sammy, I'm going to go home. I needed her like bread and butter, but go ahead. Go home. Take care of your mom.
Oh, man,
Take
yeah.
care of your problems. Take care of yourself. Go ahead, go. See, that's life. Those are good things. Me and Anna are like family. Now, we're not blood related, but we talk to each other about family problems or issues. Maybe not family problems, her own issues as a woman. She may come to me and talk to me about it. I don't even look at her as a woman, even though she's beautiful and all that bullshit, but I look at her as my family or family member. And I give her the best advice I could give her. That's family. That's love. When you find those things, hang on to those things.
Yeah.
As long as you can, as much as you can. So again,
Yeah.
you know, what I'm hearing from a pastor and my friends in California who are all Christians, and I'm not picking them out. I didn't pick them out because they're Christians. I picked them out because they're good people.
Yeah.
So happens that they go to church and they're good people and they're believers. And it's rubbing off on me a little bit. I like it. I like it.
You're getting a lot of support in your chat about the family verse related comment that you made, and they all agree with you about, you know, your chosen family is the loyalty, is the trust,
Is
the love.
everything. In
Yeah.
life, it's everything. Because there's no excuse. When we were born there, she's my, you know, I don't want to talk about my sisters that passed away, and they were good people. But when I flipped, one of my sisters went against me.
Yeah.
And my friends didn't. Tato made me. When I flipped, I figured he should hate me. Because he was Cosa Nostra, true and true.
Yeah.
He never said one bad word about me, didn't hate me. And towards the end, he said, Sammy's not a rat. John, what he did, broke Sammy.
Yeah.
And he flipped. He blamed John, not me. He could have, should have blamed me, maybe. He was in power. That could have said it, his team. He didn't. So that's family. Tato was family to me. And even after I did what I did, he wouldn't go against me.
Or Charlie Boy.
Or his son, Charlie Boy.
Yeah.
His son, Charlie Boy, who was a friend all my life, but he was a friend of ours. When the hit team came down, they were afraid of me. They couldn't get it done. He was asked, because he was a hunter, and he could shoot you a fucking dime at 150 yards
That's crazy.
in a split second. So they grabbed him. They said, you go down and shoot him from a distance. Get a roof or somewhere, just like they were going to do with Trump. But he's a shot, a good shot. I would have been dead. He told Peter Gotti, who was the boss now, go and fuck yourself. I love the guy. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
According to Cosa Nostra, he's supposed to die. Shows you how weak Peter Gotti was. But when I heard that, I just, that's family. Tato, Charlie Boy, all through our years, that's family. When I flipped, it didn't mean shit to them, because they knew why.
Yeah.
I would never flip. I'm not weak. I was brokenhearted and betrayed. And that made me do what I had to do. I was evil.
You know, you get a lot of men asking about mental health, and it's amazing. And there's one in here from Aussie Wolfhound, and he wants to know, Sammy, in the life, was crying considered weakness? Like if a made guy found out his wife or child just passed, would he be looked down on if he cried?
No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He's human. He loved her deep in his heart. I cried when men died. When the old man Peruta died. When Sammy died. He was shot. I went to the hospital. I went in the fucking morgue. I grabbed him, hugged him with blood all over him. Blood was on my face and my mouth. I cried like a fucking baby. You think I'm not a fucking man? You think that doesn't make you a man? That makes you a fucking human man. Maybe Roy DeMeo could look at a fucking coffin or somebody he loves who's killed or died, and it don't mean anything to him. He wants to smile and laugh. That's sick. No. I would have love and affection. I would grab the guy and hold him and hug him. Because I'm family in Cosa Nostra. If I saw that happen to somebody, and I know he's a tough guy, I would grab him because I know the pain of those things. And a release. And if you're a fucking man's man, you can cry. You can show what the fuck you really are. There's no shame in that. There's a shame when you're a phony fucking lying fake. Not when you're a man.
All right, we'll get into some Mafia questions now. That was amazing, Sammy. Okay, Raghav is back in the super chat, and he wants to know what was served in social clubs. Coffee, alcohol. Did the Ravenite have any of those? And what was your favorite social club apart from Tally's?
My favorite social club was Tato's club. He was my man. He was like a father to me. I loved him. His club was the best. He had the coffee machine. You can have different kinds of coffees, cappuccino, a cup of black demitasse coffee, regular coffee. He had a little booze, nothing to talk about. Big Louis Valerio, another good friend of mine. He had a great club. And it wasn't that it was a great club because it gave great coffee or stuff like that. It was just the environment. Big Louie always had a great smile, a good guy, a guy you can trust. When you walked in there, you felt that love, that affection. Hey, Louie, what's up, bro? You shaking hands with him as you're walking. I want to grab him and hug him. So, and he was sociable with the club. He was never trying to be bloodthirsty or greedy. Put him in a game so he can go broke and I can make money. You know, it's a different environment. So certain people, Big Louie had a great club, always a great guy. Tato, the same thing to me. Docs and tallies were great. That was super comfortable for me because there was good, great people in it. It's not so much what the club looked like. It was who was in it and how did you act together. An argument could break up. I told you this argument. I told you the story. I'll say it again. Tato was there. The old man Johnny Rizzo came in, and they were arguing with a guy who was a captain in the Colombo family, and we were violent as soon as Tato was talked to the wrong way. His son wanted to get up, and I said, no, Charlie, it's not your place to get up. You're a friend of ours. That's your dad. He'll take care of himself. And then I got up. It's what you have together. The jokes, the talking, the laughing, talking about a woman or something, and jokes come up, and who's laughing, who's whatever. It's that environment that you have together. I found that out here. I went to a cigar bar with a few guys, and I felt that comfort. Sitting there, bullshitting, smoking a cigar, having a drink, and smiling because she came with me, and we had a great time. I felt comfortable. It's the comfort of it. I didn't know all those people who were in it. We did a thing with Anthony Reggiano, and we went to a cigar bar that I did know the people in there. How warm was that?
Oh man, everybody was like, Sammy, hey!
Right, it was just so comfortable and beautiful and stuff like that. We had cameras, we were doing a thing. The owner just backed up, go ahead, Sammy. All the people in it, they were smiling and laughing. That comfort in a club, it's that comfort level. It's the people. Could be a shithole of a place, really. It's not that it was fancy and this and that and the other thing. John's Club on Mulberry Street was a good, comfortable club for a very long time. It got screwed up towards the end, but it was a comfortable club. I enjoyed going there. And I looked forward to it. So I would say Tato, Big Louie, John Gotti's club, they were very, very comfortable for me.
Nice, thank you, Sammy. Let's see, Raghav, again with a super chat. There was an incident where Anthony Spiro was assaulted by his associate. Do you know anything about this incident?
I knew Anthony Spiro very, very well. Really another guy, neighborhood guy, who was older than me, and he was good with the kids. You know, I heard a lot of stories about him. They were all bullshit, most of them. He had a maid guy around him who was a piece of shit, but he was under Spiro. And he would tell some of these guys like Jimmy Calandria and things, stories. Spiro's okay and this and this and that. This is coming from the old man. It was all bullshit. It wasn't true. The guy Spiro got convicted on all those lies and died in prison. I remember growing up, and I borrowed money off him a couple of times. And I didn't have the payment. And one day he grabbed me and said, Sammy, come here, bro. You ain't coming around because you don't have enough money to give me the payment, right? Yeah. He said, don't do that. I think the world of you. Fuck the payment. Don't worry about the payment. We can double up. Whatever. I can wipe it out. Whatever. Come around. So even when you owe him money, if you're trying to beat him or something, he's not going to be happy about it. I know what you're talking about, the argument that he had with some kid. One of the kids, I think, was in the Bath Avenue group. I heard a few stories, and one of them was that he went to Spiro and said he wanted to be made. You can't do that. Spiro, I believe, he was a captain, but he might have been the Gonziera family at that time. And Gonziera, he told him, you don't ask things like that, you know. And a little word back and forth, and the kid pushed him. And that he got whacked because of that. Now, I heard that story. I don't know if it's true, but if it sounds likely to be true. If you're going to push a guy like that in the street, you think you're a fucking tough guy? They'll kill you. That's the norm. I'm not saying it happened, but that's the norm. So if it did happen, the kid deserved it. You're not going to go there to a fucking powerful guy like him and physically try to abuse him. You're not going to get away with it.
Wow.
So I heard stories, you know, like that. But he was a good-hearted guy. He had a pigeon coop on a roof with a ton of pigeons. He loved flying pigeons. He would race them. He'd play cards in his club on Bath Avenue all the time. Super fucking friendly guy. And good-natured guy.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people know Louise was very close to me. She got a divorce. I never got a divorce. And then she went out with Anthony Spiro. And her, and I believe her daughters, her family, they became super tight, super close. And he knew she was my ex, and he was very conscious of that, and whatever. But not in a negative way, always in a good way.
Yeah.
And me and her always remained friends. I love the fact that she found another love in her life. So, I mean, that's the type of guy he was. There was no, you know, he was a good guy all the way around. He went down with a lawyer, Jerry Chargell, who was very close with me. He was with me, and he was very, very close to me, Jerry Chargell. He was one of the best lawyers around. And I guess the lies that were told at his trial were overwhelming, and he lost the case. And then he died eventually in prison. And so Anthony Spiro, I have a lot of good feelings towards, a lot of good memories about. And I was very, very happy that, of course I did care about Louise, that she found someone in life. And I felt that would be taken care of. And,
It's good.
you know, so.
Yeah. Can you give a shout out to Chino Fla in the chat? He is lighting up the chat. They are having a ball.
Tito Fla,
Chino Fla.
Chino Fla.
Or Florida. I thought it was Florida, but Fla sounds good to me.
From Florida.
From Florida.
All right, Chino. What is he lighting up? What's he doing?
Dude, he's going back and forth with all your viewers and stuff. They're just talking all back and forth. He's laughing right now.
Good. Good. Have fun. That's what this is about. Monday Live, I always want it to be fun and stuff like that and whatever. And that's what we do. We have fun, we talk, we learn. And a lot of times I learn from you. Sometimes I'll forget a name of a restaurant and this and that. After Monday Live, I still get comments in. They tell me the name of the place I forgot. Yeah. So you guys are well versed in the mob and stuff. I'll talk about somebody without saying the name. We know who you were talking about.
People want to know who is the advisor. They're asking in the chat.
The who?
The advisor.
The advisor?
Do we give that away, or is that a secret?
No, that's a secret. Yeah,
That's on the QT.
We're keeping some of those secrets. Yeah. The advisor gets on there and talks, and the advisor gets mad sometimes.
What's the smackdown? Cortez Crawford, what happened with Frank Amato, Paul's son-in-law?
Is that the one that got killed?
Probably. Let's Google that. Let's check
And
that
now,
out real quick.
Frank Amato. One of them got killed. It might be him, and I don't think he was ever found. He disappeared. Is that the one that disappeared?
Mina's going to check on that. Let me ask another question until we come back on that. Perfectly Imperfect wants to know, did you know a very tall man back in the day called Johnny Whispers from Staten Island? Johnny Whispers.
No, I didn't know him, but I would tell you that you guys see me a lot. Everybody to me was tall.
Wait, hold on.
I'm fucking 3 feet tall. So everybody was.
You're a funny guy, Sammy.
Yeah.
Okay. Penn's Fan Man, did you ever know Todaro Jr. or Sr. from the Buffalo Mob? Apparently, Jr. owns a large pizza chain called La Nova that is extremely popular in that area.
Now, the father was the boss, and he was the underboss. The father died, and he became the boss.
Todaro, yeah. Todaro
Yeah.
Jr. Sr.
Now, if that's the guy you're talking about, I know him. That's the guy I went to a meeting, and I walked in the water with him. So,
Nice.
yeah, I do know him.
Brian Brown, a loyal viewer, Sammy, in the super chat. Is it true that John Gotti got the contract to kill Roy DeMeo and his crew, but was caught on tape telling his brother Gene, "We can't kill him, he's too dangerous"?
It's true that he got the contract. I don't know if he got caught on tape saying that. I never heard that. But I know that when he gave it to him, he had a very strange reaction, like he was worried or concerned. And Paul pulled back the contract off of him right away. And he gave it to Frankie DeChico. Frankie DeChico called me up and told me, he says, "Sammy, I got Roy's ticket. I know what that means on the phone, that he's got the contract." I went down and see him on Bath Avenue. I said, "Bro, they're really tough. A lot of them are dangerous. You need help?" He said, "No." He told me that John was given the contract, and it rattled him. And Paul took it away from him and gave it to him. Wow. So he said no. That's when he told me, he says, the twins, his 2 top guys, I spoke with them and told them, you're all marked for death. I could get rid of this contract off of you guys if you kill him. They agreed. They killed him. They're the guys who killed him. And it was over. We gave one of them up to gas piping them. No contract, you're free. You're free to go. And I think one or both of them went to gas pipe.
Frank Amato, the son-in-law of Castellano, he did disappear in 1980.
All right, so here, I'm going to tell you what happened to him. He married Paul's daughter, and he was very, very abusive and did fucked up things. And Paul found out and ordered a hit. I'm going to even tell you things that most people don't know, so pay attention to this one. Frankie DeChico got the hit with Joe Watts, a few other guys, and they made an appointment with him in a building in Manhattan. But the streets in the area that this was going to happen was packed with people non-stop. So the problem was not to kill him. He was going to come in. Frankie DeChico was super tough. So was Joe Watts. And they would kill him. How do you get rid of the body? They called in Roy DeMeo to come in with his crew. When he came in, He was killed by Frankie the Chico and shot him along with Joe Watts. Both of them shot him and killed him. Roy DeMeo came in with his guys, cut the body up in little pieces, the whole body, put them in boxes, wrapped it, tied it, and walked out of the building with boxes, put the boxes in their car or trunk or whatever, and got rid of the body. Frankie the Chico had told me, when the thing was over, he told me exactly what happened. He said, bro, they're fucking animals. They came in with buzz saws, little saws. 1, 2, 3. Cut them in pieces and put them in different boxes and walked out with them. Now, all the crowd, you're walking out with a little box. Didn't mean anything to anybody, but each box had pieces in it. Head in one, arms and whatever in another one. All pieces fitting in boxes. And that's how he left. He was never seen again, no hide or hair. And there's very few people who know those details. Frankie the Chico is dead. Joe Watts is still alive, but I don't know where he is. And Roy DeMeo crew, the two twins are still alive. I don't know if they're part of that story. They think, I don't know what they say and think, but that's what happened. And he was gone. There was another guy Paul killed because of the daughter, a boyfriend. A boyfriend, I don't know if I should even tell the story. You know what, another day. I'm gonna leave this story out.
Yeah.
I think very highly of the Castellano family, the daughters, the sons, everybody. I knew them all. I knew the daughter very well. Beautiful girl. And they handled themselves when Paul died gracefully. Good. No cops, no reports from them, no complaints from them. Their father lived the life. He died in the life. He was part of the life. He was part of killing other people by giving a contract, and he died. He lived by the sword, and he died by the sword. And they conducted themselves very good. You'll never hear them, and I never heard them whining, complaining, suing, this bullshit, nothing. He, I'm sure from his grave, if he knows, has to be very proud of them. I am, and I have a lot of respect for them. So I really don't want to go into boyfriend, girlfriend, and whatever. I want to, not that there's anything ugly or super crazy. I just don't want, I respect, they deserve respect. I want to respect them.
Thank you, Sammy. We're almost at the 2-hour mark, but I'm going to get a one or two more super chats in. Speaking of Castellano, Jason G. Sammy, where did the shooters go after the Paul hit? Was it the subway? Was there an escape plan for them? Wishing you all the best, boss.
Thank you. No, they all went in cars. They backed up and left. We went to, and you're going to love this story. We were living in Joe Watts' house in the basement in the maid's quarters. We got rid of the maid. We lived there. Me, Frankie the Chico, and Frankie Botts. And some of the meetings took place there. But the other people left, but me, Frankie, and Botts, and Frankie the Chico never left. We were there for the whole time while we were getting ready to do the murder. When we did the murder, we came back, and I met up with Frankie, and we were going to go to another place that Joe Watts had. Joe Watts was a rich guy, and he had a bachelor's pad where he would entertain women. And nobody knew about it. So he told me and Frankie, the Chico, come there, we'll go there. So when we finally got together, that's exactly where we went. That night, Everything was over, done. There was news reports on radio, television, everything. I was burnt out, tired, exhausted, and I wanted to take a shower, and I wanted to go to bed. So I told Joe once, I said, Joe, I'm going to take a shower. Do you have pajamas? He said, yeah, Sammy. I went in, I took a shower. I came out with a towel wrapped around the bottom. And he came over with his hand stretched out with red silk pajamas. Really expensive shit. And that's Joe Watts. If anybody knows him, he's got a ton of money in. So I grabbed the pajamas and they felt like women's panties. I said, Joe, what the fuck is this, bro? He said, they're silk pajamas. They're the best. Silk, red silk.
Oh my God.
So I said, all right. I was putting the pajamas on and everything like that. I said, Frankie, I'm going to go in the bedroom. Where do I sleep? In that bedroom. The master bedroom. You and Frankie. All right. I don't care. We're in pajamas, 2 men. We'll sleep, in the bed. I don't care. It's a big bed. So I go in, and there's all mood lining. There's all plants, silk plants, green lights under them. They look real, red lights, weird shit. I look at the bed, and the bed was huge. A big, heart-shaped bed with red velvet blanket on it. I looked up. The whole fucking ceiling was mirrored. Little twinkle things. I said, get the fuck out of here. I ain't sleeping here. So I came out of the room with my silk pajamas on. And I said, bro, I ain't sleeping in there. Frankie the Chico said, what's the matter? I said, Frankie, bro, me and you are going to sleep in that room. Go in the room first, and then I'll talk to you. Come on, go in the room. He opened up the door and went in. Frankie was like, had that tough face. He came out with a big fucking, Joe, the fuck is this? So Joe says, it's take broads, it's So I said, Frankie, me and you are going to be in that bed with silk pajamas. I'm going to have red ones. Maybe you'll have pink ones. God forbid they found out and guys kick the door in and they come in with shotguns and they just kill the 2 of us. That's how we're going to be found. With silk fucking pajamas, laying in a heart-shaped bed together. We might as well hug. Because and that's the way the cameras and everything will take pictures of us dead, bro. We're going to make front page news. He says, you're right, bro. I'm going to sleep on the couch. You sleep on that end of the couch. I'll sleep on the other end of the couch. And that's what we did. And we laughed. And Joe Watts was like, what's the matter? Come on. What are you kidding or what? No. Are you kidding? With this fucking bed. You take broads in there. That's what you do? What do you look at there? Ass up in the air? Yeah. Oh, my God. So it was crazy. And this is right after the Castellano. I mean, people will not believe this, but it's true. It was so sick that me and Frankie never brought it up. After I flipped, I did, but Frankie's gone, so you'll never hear the story from him.
Your chat is cracking up, dude.
It was the craziest fucking thing. And I refused to tell anybody up until after I cooperated. I don't give, and we start doing these things, I don't give a shit no more. But it was the funniest thing in the world.
Well, thank you, Sammy. Can you tell everybody to subscribe and hit the like button?
Yeah, guys, don't forget, subscribe, hit the like button, but subscribe. The person who hits the button at one point, either at 1 million flat or close to 1 million, 780, 800, whatever the number is going to be. As soon as I get the urge, here's what I'm going to do. You know what I'm going to do? every time I hit a number, 700,000, I'm going to take 5 or 6 names and put it in that jar. 800,000, I'm going to do it again. 900,000, I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to read your names, so you know that those are the names that are in there. And then I'll take a pic right in front of everybody, and when we make $1 million, you're getting $1,000, bro. Whoever it is, man or woman. But every time, every 100,000, I'm going to pick five or 6 names, whatever we want, and put it in the barrel. So we have a game to play, and I get the numbers up.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So, and you guys who talk to the other guys and said, come on, let's get them 1 million subscribers. I love you guys. I so much appreciate it. You know, if I was really rich, every one of you who told me that, well, you would be getting $1,000 check, because I love the way you care. Mm-hmm. And caring, like I said, is everything. That's family.
Yeah.
TikTok says you need to include the pajamas.
Throw in the pajamas. We have a deal.
You want to know something? TikTok. My TikTokers. I wish I had those pajamas right now. I probably could sell them for like 50,000.
No kidding.
They're crazy, but I don't have them. So.
Awesome. Well, let's wrap it up, Sammy. What a great live today.
Yeah, this was a great live. I enjoyed every second of it. I needed this. Coming off the trip was great. This was great. So, adios, motherfuckers.